Welcome to a new edition of the Neon Jazz interview series with South Korean-born, New York City-based jazz pianist and composer Yoonmi Choi. She has a very impressive new CD out. It's 2021's 7 Days, done with her trio. She's no stranger to the stage, and she is always pioneering her unique, creative voice. Over the years, she has performed at over 300 venues in Europe, receiving international acclaim across 3 continents, playing almost every major jazz festival, pushing the combined limits and expectations of both classical and jazz realms. She started studying piano at the age of 3, and it has become her life, taking her literally around the world. Enjoy this story.
Hi, how are you?
I'm wonderful. How are you?
I'm good, thank you.
Thanks for taking a minute out for the show. I appreciate it.
Thank you too.
So how's everything going over there with the pandemic and just kind of the way the world is?
Yeah, it's really crazy. I was in New York City like last year until summer, and then I decided, okay, I have to go back to Korea for a while.
Yeah.
Until I feel safe. And then, everything stopped, especially in New York City too. All the jazz music, musical, everything stopped. And all my producers, they went back to their states or their country. Yeah, so I came back last year, and until now, I'm actually in Korea right now. Yeah, it's the same here, but it's a little bit better than New York City, I think.
We're definitely closer to the end of this than we are the beginning, and that's reassuring.
Yeah, true, very true.
Thank you for taking a minute out. I really enjoyed 7 Days, the album with your trio. Yeah, it's a very powerful recording, and I guess with what we've mentioned and talked about with the pandemic, talk to me a little bit about releasing recorded music during this time on the planet.
Yeah, I was stuck in the home, for a while, and I was thinking about like, what can I do? I have to do something productive things, like as a musician, since I can't play outside. So this project, like my 7 Days, actually I started from 2013. So it's been a long time ago. And even though I finished it for 2014, but I didn't like it. So I tried to modify and changes the songs until I satisfied. That was the pandemic time.
It's a very the cover is very intriguing. There's different celestial things going on. Kind of talk to me a little bit about how did this pandemic and the way the world has kind of become these days affect the way, not only with your artwork but your sound. How did things change for you?
Yeah, it changes to a little bit dark, obviously. I try to imagine, especially 7 days, it's like, Earth. So like kind of feels like surviving thing. It's like a new things coming up. That's what I imagined when I compose.
So what do you ultimately want the listener to get from this album? How do you want them to feel about what you've put out?
Well, I think it depends on the listener. But for my opinion, I love classical music and jazz music too. So I try to combine the both things together. I wanted to make very beautiful melody. Yeah, like not too much swinging, but I wanted to make some improvisations and plus freely and plus organized classical things. So I hopefully, people enjoy those things.
Right on. You grew up in South Korea. Talk to me a little bit about how jazz became something that you were interested in and how it ultimately became your life. I know you have, training in classical as well, but talk to me a little bit about not only how music came in, but jazz too.
Yeah, the classical music, as everyone knows, that if you have a mistake, one note, that's wrong. If you have something wrong left in just one note or timing, that's already wrong. I didn't like it. So why I can't change the note? Because I feel like this is beautiful. Of course, I can't. But so that's I think the way I started. So what can I do? If I can play more freely, So everyone said like, yeah, that's jazz. Like if you want to really make the music and then as you want to, so jazz. That's first I liked, and second, I used to practice alone at home or like school or practice room, and they make me like very square. Like I'm in the square in the box. But for jazz, like you play with the people, and you can change the really the instruments, players, and you can play like every time same music but differently. That feels that's amazing thing for me.
So you've been at this since you were 3 years old. I mean, this is probably almost like walking or breathing for you to make music.
Yeah, I think so.
What do you like the best about creating music? What is it that motivates you every day to do what you do?
I don't know. Like I love nature, so maybe nature thing.
Wonderful.
Like mount. Yeah.
Let me ask about jazz influences. What jazz music did you listen to early on that really made you think, man, I love this. This is what I want to get into?
Oh, it's very different. I really love Red Garland. I love his old albums, his playing, and Wynton Kelly too. It doesn't mean like I wanted to play like them, like their music, but I just listen a lot. Like especially Red Garland, I listen a lot. The other hand, yeah, Keith Jarrett, I was very surprised. Brett Mehldau, yeah, very too. Yeah, I just listen as much as I can. So I try to make the like, okay, here's this part is very amazing. And I try to I can get it there. That's what I think.
So what was the first live jazz show that you saw that really, really inspired you?
I think that was in Korea. It's like one of the Korean jazz player. She was a pianist, and then I was very beginner. I just played like 2-5-1, like for a left hand voicing. She played blues. I knew that at 12 bars, but she played like I don't know, like 15 and 20 courses, and then everything is he changed so many different style. And I was like, wow, I want to be like that. That's just to remember.
What about teachers and inspirations for you that have really helped you in your career? Who have been some of those?
For the Netherlands, when I was in Groningen, my teacher, his name is Mark Valloon, and he's an amazing European jazz pianist. He is in a European jazz piano trio, and his playing is I still didn't see anyone playing like that. His pedaling is amazing, and I didn't see the Keith Jarrett actually real playing. I didn't have a chance. I don't know, who, if I see the Keith Jarrett playing, maybe I could change my mind. But for me now, right now, Mark Balloon, for me, my amazing piano player.
Did you always have a dream of coming to New York? Was that always a goal of yours?
Honestly, actually not. I even didn't know New York City. I wanted to be there, but most of my friends, like drummer and bass player, after that we graduate, and then they said, I go, we're gonna go to New York City. Would you like to go? You wanna go? And I said, all right. And then I go there with the friends. That was my start.
Well, obviously New York is like the place for jazz on this planet.
It is.
What was the first place that you played at that just blew you away? Like something you had heard about or dreamed that you would play in that really was like, wow, I'm here.
Yeah, I think it's closed already. It changed with a Bonafide, but name was something jazz club. I think that was my first gig. That I remember. Yeah, and then for me, in the middle time, I played with us New York Summer Stage. That was the outside concert in Central Park. I really loved that the time.
Did it take a while for you to start getting gigs and getting on your feet in New York, or was it kind of a quick, accelerated thing?
It took 3 years to get it. Yeah, it was not easy for first time, obviously, yeah. But 3 years, I knew more people and knew some producers and friends. Then it was good.
As we kind of touched on in the beginning with COVID, when we do return to live music and you're back on stage and, we're back in the crowd, what do you hope we all realize about the power of live music and even the power of jazz in our lives, performed live?
You know what? Like even in Korea or like in New York City, we tried online music, like the virtual music. But like I can feel the listener's power. It's different things. Like you play your own self, like with the friends, and then the camera goes to online, and people listening. I don't know where they are. But live is different. There's a more active and energy. I want to feel that again. And hopefully people too, listener too. Like music live is, you can compare with virtual one. That's for sure.
When do you have plans? Do you have any plans of coming back to New York in any kind of short window or any window?
I was thinking about this summer, but I am actually doing something here too.
Okay.
So hopefully I can do I can finish this project. And then maybe I'm going to go back.
So my final question to you is this. Everyone has their idea of who they think you are. Your family, your friends, your fans, they all think of you in a certain way. But you ultimately are the one that's living your life. Who do you think you are?
Oh, that's a deep question.
Yeah.
I am just a human that tried something, what I can in this world, and I want to know how I am here in Earth, and why I want to know, and what's my obligation, and I want to do it until I die.
Beautiful.
All right.
I like it. That's a great answer.
Thank you.
Yeah. Hey, thank you for taking some time out to talk with Neon Jazz today. Good luck with the album, the return to America,
Thank you.
and everything else that you have going on. I appreciate it.
All right. Thank you so much.
Thanks for listening and tuning in to another Neon Jazz interview, where we give you a bit of insight into the finest players in South Korea, Kansas City, New York City, and spots all over the world, giving fans all that jazz. And thanks to Yoonmi for her time, music, and story. If you want to hear more interviews, go to Famous Interviews with Joe DePino in the iTunes Store. Visit Neon Jazz at youtube.com, and for everything Neon Jazz all the time, go to the neonjazz.blogspot.com. Until next time, enjoy the jazz, my friends.
Neon Jazz.